Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity. But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen. One day, just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, Ghz Edition. The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered, "I'll be back," could be heard coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance. The evil creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the overworld. Until today, that is. Somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke. With a hoarse "Oh!" Krotos fell to the ground. The horde had triumphed, and the end of the Alliance had been sealed. The ultimate evil was the sole ruler of the overworld, and its inhabitants would moan under its dictatorship. Everything was exactly as the ultimate evil had always dreamed. Well, not exactly. Out there lurked another part of itself, the chaotic evil with its flaming legion of demons. It would hardly give in without a fight. But the greatest danger, which neither yet suspected, arose in the north, on the other side of the wall. Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows that had been overrun by evil. Krotos and the rest of his ridiculous troops fell victim to the abominable evil, and the pitiful remnants of the Alliance fled in panic before the horde and the demons. The capital of Ghz Edition had fallen, and was now, more or less, an outhouse for evil's fiends. But a hero emerged from the chaos to courageously confront the evil. Meltisand, the Red Priestess, who used her pyromaniacal tendencies for the benefit of the last do-gooders. The remaining members of the Alliance rallied under her banner, for while the night was dark and full of terrors, there was nothing a nice little fire couldn't take care of. The last few do-gooders found refuge in the north beyond the Plague Lands,
on the wall of ice that had for eons separated the Alliance from the wild and snowy countries. Here stood the troops of the North Watch, a sworn brotherhood who kept watch over the North and, to alleviate the boredom, teased each other through the creation of strange rules, such as a celibate lifestyle. This story is about the leader of the North Watch, a young hero by the name of Barthas Snow. Barthas had recently lost his brother and had become the captain of the North Watch in his place. Now he went out to track down a missing patrol. Beyond the wall in the north, what awaited him there? This is the story. Barthas crossed the cave and slowly approached the strangely glowing crystal. He had no idea as to what it might be. Like any good hero in a dungeon, he just couldn't keep his greedy little fingers to himself and touched the crystal. As he did, a brilliant light filled the room. When the light faded again, Barthas lay badly wounded on the ground. With his last breath, he stammered, "For the Watch," and gave up his life. However, his actions had set something free. Like many other heroes before him, he had inadvertently released another great evil into the world. The corrupting evil. It had long rested, unaware that two of its siblings were already awake and fighting for supremacy. Its servants awoke with it, the undead. Now they rose from their graves. Skeletons, zombies, ghouls, frights, Nosferatu, all following their vile master's plans. As well as they could. Undead aren't exactly known for their intellectual prowess, and are therefore sometimes referred to as the Mindless Army. They didn't forget Barthas' corpse. The corrupting evil's creatures carried his corpse forth and laid it to its final rest. Then they turned their attention to the living, the North Watch. The wall would fall, and the mindless army would head south, to where the corrupting evil's siblings were already waiting. Meltisand was defeated. The Red Priestess hit the ground with a long, drawn-out "Ah!" and breathed her last. Since the ultimate evil had already laid waste to the altar of rebirth, it could be certain that this time her demise was now permanent. Moreover, never again would a hero of the Alliance rise from the dead. They would henceforth simply lie there and rot once they had been struck down. It was a glorious victory, through and through. Not only was the absolute evil restored and had united the evil nations, it had also handed the do-gooders an annihilating defeat. Horde, demons, and undead cheered their champion. An era of terror began for the kingdoms of the Alliance, an eternal reign of evil. But would evil's rule truly last forever? After all, every evil tends to attract heroes with more luck than skill, who then defeat it. Should the reign of evil already be counting its days, then? You know how it is. All good things come in threes.